breathe some life into the dead for a few moments, my children. Today's manga has a bit of a misleading title, particularly because here in America, we have an assumption when it comes to what a zombie story is, and certainly not what happens in this story.
The zombie shop in the title is not an actual shop, but a nickname given to the equally titular Reiko. Reiko is a necromancing schoolgirl who resurrects the dead. For a price, of course. For you see, there are a lot of unsolved murders in the world, and who best to tell the truth about a death than the one who died? And so for a price that matches their means, Reiko will resurrect the dead to let people ask them any questions they may have, letting the family get resolution on matters, making sure a dying rock musician can finish his concert even if he dies on stage. And of course, solve whether or not someone was murdered. Indeed, the very first story is about resurrecting a girl to find out why she committed suicide. But of course she did not really kill herself, but was rather driven to it by her pedophile father, who had forced himself on her. But fortunately, he gets what he deserves. You see, it's probably best to chain up the body in cases like this, since the dead tend to carry around a bit of anger over how they died. So if, say, her monstrous father had done such things to her, well, she's only too happy to rip him in half in return. Reiko's powers, which of course involve summoning Satan, always a good bet when dealing with these things, are an area of effect, so anyone within earshot who has died can be resurrected by her chance. It can be a bit of a problem with that aforementioned rock concert, seeing as the musician is able to kill someone who tries to murder him on stage, and thus they are resurrected as well. But an ongoing narrative does exist here, my children. Some strangers are nice and want to help you. And other strangers are insane teenagers who kidnap little girls to make them be her younger sister and then murder them when she is rejected. The police eventually bring in Reiko after 30 girls have been murdered, and one victim is able to identify the killer for them. But this one is tenacious. Reiko herself becomes a victim of this woman. But fortunately, she planned for this eventuality, using a tape recording of her chant so that she can resurrect herself and keep the battle going. And, well, at that point you just need to go all in, summoning all of her past victims to climb up and drag her to hell. Although not before ripping her body to shreds in a bloody pit. How will Reiko get out of this situation, being dead and all?
Well, that's a story for Volume 2, my children. In the meantime, Reiko the Zombie Shop's first volume is a delightful little tale of necromancy and death. Give it a read, and a good laugh at some good, blood-soaked justice.